Just 40 days after her wedding, a 19-year-old woman in BAUCHI State has been arrested over an alleged attempt to poison her husband. The suspect, identified by the police as Aisha Musa, was arrested after her husband allegedly became ill following a meal she is accused of preparing for him. The incident occurred in Kwama village within BAUCHI local government area of BAUCHI State. According to the police, the alleged poisoning took place on August 12th when the suspect allegedly mixed a poisonous substance into her husband's food. What happened next triggered an emergency response. At about 7:40 p.m., the police reportedly received a distress call from an anonymous woman living in the Wanti Dada area of BAUCHI. The information was immediately passed to officers attached to the C Division in Tafawa Balewa Estate. Police personnel responded to the situation, and the husband was taken to the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa University Hospital in BAUCHI for medical attention. He is currently receiving treatment, and according to the police, his condition is stable. But investigators are now trying to establish exactly what happened inside the home and what may have led to the alleged poisoning. The case has attracted particular attention because of how recently the couple reportedly got married. The police said the suspect had been married to the victim for approximately 40 days when the incident occurred. That means the alleged poisoning happened only weeks after the couple began their marriage. Following the incident, police arrested the 19-year-old suspect. The police public relations officer, SP Nafiu Habib, said the woman allegedly confessed during interrogation. However, the allegation remains subject to investigation, and the suspect is presumed innocent unless proven guilty in court. Investigators have also recovered items they believe could help establish what happened. According to the police, an empty bottle suspected to have contained poison was recovered. Remnants of the meal allegedly involved in the incident were also collected. Both items have been reportedly being registered as exhibits as investigators work to determine whether the food contained a poisonous substance, and if so, how it entered the meal. The evidence could become crucial to the case. Police investigators will need to establish the nature of the substance allegedly used, determine whether it was responsible for the husband's illness, and establish the circumstances surrounding its presence in the home. They may also seek medical evidence from the hospital as part of the investigation. For the husband, the immediate concern remains his recovery. The police said he survived the incident and is currently in stable condition. But the case has now moved beyond the family home and into the criminal justice system. The Commissioner of Police in BAUCHI State, Sani Omolori Aliyu, has ordered that the case be transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department for further investigation. The transfer means detectives are expected to conduct a more detailed examination of the circumstances surrounding the alleged poisoning. Investigators could question the suspect further, examine the recovered exhibits, and obtain additional evidence before deciding the appropriate charges. The police said the suspect will be charged to court after the investigation is completed, which means the next stage will depend on what investigators are able to establish from the available evidence. The incident also raises broader questions about domestic disputes and violence within relationships. Cases involving allegations of poisoning are particularly serious because they can be difficult to detect until a victim becomes severely ill. In this case, the husband's survival has allowed authorities to begin an investigation while he remains under medical care. The fact that the police reportedly received a distress call also highlights the importance of quickly reporting suspected emergencies. The identity of the woman who made the call has not been disclosed by the police. Her information reportedly triggered the response that led officers to the situation. The authorities have not publicly disclosed what may have caused the alleged incident or whether there had been any obvious disagreements between the couples. That part of the story remains unclear. There is also no indication from the police statement that anyone else has been arrested in connection with the case. At this stage, investigators are focused on establishing the fact. The alleged poisoning is a serious criminal accusation, but the final determination of guilt will have to be made through due legal process. For the police, the priority is therefore to gather sufficient evidence before the case is taken to court. The recovered bottle and food remnants could become important evidence if laboratory analysis confirms the presence of a toxic substance. Medical records could also help establish the condition of the victim and whether his symptoms were consistent with poisoning. Meanwhile, the Bauchi State Police Command has reiterated its commitment to protecting lives and property. The command also urged residents to remain vigilant and report suspicious activities to the nearest police station. The case is likely to remain under close attention as investigators attempt to answer the central questions surrounding the incident. Why was the substance allegedly placed in the husband's food? Where did the suspected poison come from? And what happened inside the couple's home before the emergency call was made? Those questions will form part of the investigation now being handled by the State Criminal Investigation Department. For the husband, the immediate battle is recovery. For the suspect, the next stage is the investigation, and if sufficient evidence is established, prosecution. And for investigators, the task is to separate allegation from fact and determine exactly what happened in a marriage that has barely reached its 6 weeks. What was supposed to be the beginning of a new life for a newly married couple has instead become a police investigation involving an alleged poisoning, a hospital emergency, and a young bride now facing possible criminal prosecution. For more updates, stay with us on News Express. I am Cassie Tony.